Hi, it's Bubba Rocks Media and it's Rising Bands time. You all know this is my favorite time, and I'm really excited to have a band that I think are incredible and are going to blow up. They're doing so well at the moment. They're going on tour with the Rasmus coming to the UK. They have another album coming out soon, and their songs literally stopped my scroll. I had to get interviewing them. Welcome in, guys. This is Jonne from Block of Flats. Hi. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, of course. It's so nice to be in this interview. So
yay. And we'll begin here just with you, just introducing yourself to the folks listening. If you want to go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so I'm Jonne from Block of Flats. I'm the singer, and that's about it.
Well, look, again, thank you for joining me. And there is a huge buzz around the band, and it's very exciting. I love to see this. But you know, there's a famous saying that is, it takes 10 years to be an overnight success. And you know, it's so true. And you guys have been going for like well over 10 years now. And what I'd love to know as well is, was there any time during those 10 years where you were like, I'm just going to give up? Or was there a point where you're like, oh, it's happening, we're going to keep going, you know? Or is it just let's just keep doing this, and there never was a time that we were ever going to give up?
Well, I think that is a pretty good question, because like for me it's always has been that like we have to do this, we want to do this, so it doesn't matter what we're gonna do, because we want to get there. We want to get to like to have what we really want, and that is like being the biggest band in the world, kinda. But of course, in the journey there has been like ups and downs. But to be honest, I have never like even thought about like quitting, because, and also after so many years, it feels like it's so stupid to stop right now.
I know you wouldn't put in all that time and then give up. Sure, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Especially if there's
right now we can't quit.
Yeah, exactly. Well, duh. I mean, it's really kicking off now, so don't quit. Okay. The other thing I like to ask is, do you remember the first time you ever got on stage and performed? Was there anything that happened that has stayed with you even right through to now?
Are you talking about going on stage with the Block of Flats, or like
just the very, very first time?
The very first time. Okay, so that's also a good question, because I can't remember. I'm trying to think. Maybe it was like in fourth grade when I went to that like elementary school like singing contest. That might be the first time. And it was like, it was always like like my place has always meant to be on the stage, so it was pretty normal. And when the contest like actually I won the contest, but yeah, then
won?
after that I realized maybe I can sing, because before the contest I haven't never sang before.
Oh, okay. And like, so then that was like, I don't know, I couldn't get up on a stage. It would petrify me. And like, so you always knew that it would be something maybe that you wanted to do, and then you kind of discovered it when you got on a stage. Like, that's really cool.
Well, it's not so simple either, because like I remember that time when I was before I started really like do music and started to focus on that. I was like trying to be the professional skateboarder.
Nice.
Yeah, and I remember when my dad was like driving me to the skate park, and we were together in a car, and he said to me that, so what do you want to do in your life? I was like maybe 9 years old or something like that, or 10 or 12, I don't remember. And I said to him that I want to be a professional skateboarder. And he was like, oh, okay, so what about music? Do you want to like start your music career, or try that? And I was like, no, only thing I care about is skateboarding. And look where we are right now. I don't skate anymore because I don't want to break my hands.
I was just about to say that. Oh my gosh, please don't.
Yeah.
You know, I guess that's a hazard, that one. But like I believe it was TikTok that I first found you guys.
Okay.
Literally, I will go on to TikTok and Instagram and I'm looking for new bands.
Yeah.
And it was Lifeline that just stopped my scroll. So yeah. And what I'm going to do is we're going to play Lifeline first for folks to hear to get some context on this song, and then we'll have a wee chat about it afterwards. So here it is.
Yeah.
Lifeline.
Haunted by the demons in my head, never letting go, they want me dead.
Right, so now folks listening, you see what I mean? That was a bloody brilliant song. And it took me right back to the early 2000s. That's when I started journalism. That's when I was like getting into all the really cool bands coming out back then. And like I just thought the song was just incredible. It just had visually and the sound, it just stopped everything and made me go, oh, what?
Okay.
I was like really excited, which I do because music is just such an emotional thing for me. And I was just wondering, were there any challenges with creating this song itself at the start when or did it just come like real easy, this one?
Actually, I wrote this song with Nikkila, who is a Finnish producer and mix and engineer. So it was like the first song that we wrote together. So basically when we started, we had a idea that let's make I don't remember basically what was the idea. Let's make a something else that we haven't like done before. And the first version of the song, we just listened that one like 2 months ago together, and we were like, what the hell we were thinking when we did the first demo. But yeah, actually it was a kind of test because we had never wrote songs together. So we were like we have been talking about it many times, and then it's just maybe almost a year ago I called to Rami and said that should we have a little writing session, and yeah, it came out pretty easily. But first for me it was the sound was pretty, it was so much heavier than in the first album. So first I had to really think that is this the sound that where we want to what we're gonna sound like in the next album. But then I realized that when I played the song to our manager and the label, and so everybody liked it, so I was like, yeah, maybe we should do it. But yeah, I don't know, hard question, but it came out pretty easily.
A brilliant song, actually. And I went backwards. I started with Lifeline and worked backwards with the songs in your catalog. And like you mentioned there is a evolvement of the sound that you guys, because when you first started it was more punk rock alt. And I know that you were influenced by Disco Ensemble. And I also could hear, I think the song is Nothing's Gonna Be Okay. There's elements in that song that remind me of Placebo as well, which I love. And there's just some really cool influences within your sound. But I'm curious, as it has developed and you've went heavier, is there outer influences that help to contribute to that, or is that just something that was probably always going to be an involvement of the band?
Yes, you mean what involved us to do heavier stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have been always listening like metalcore and everything like that, and like deathcore, but I have never been such a good screamer. So that has been my weak point. So it hasn't it hasn't been I always thought that because I cannot scream so good, so I have to do not so heavy stuff. But then I realized that maybe I can do it without the screaming. But actually, right now I can scream a lot better than 2 years ago. But but if you're thinking about a band, maybe Architects, Bad Omens, Bring the Horizon, like basic stuff in this scene. But yeah.
Yeah, and I'm the same. I like the heavier stuff too, so it like really works for me. But I love that a band will evolve. I think it's just like the normal journey of a band from when they start to where they end up. It always evolves, and I think that's cool. And because fans evolve too, and I've actually had some newer bands messaging, like, because they like to message me to ask more established bands like you guys for advice, really. And a lot of them currently feel that they have to be perfect right now, ready to go. Aesthetically, musically, everything has to be perfect. So can you offer them a wee bit of advice, just to let them know that it's okay, you don't have to be perfect, and evolvement is normal?
Yeah, like once again, a good question, because like I think that when we signed like our first record deal, it was like 2018 maybe, and we were always thinking that we're not good enough to send the message to the labels. We were always like thinking that we have to do better, and after that we can like send the message, and then someone will like find us. But afterwards, I can say that it could be like much easier today if we just let's send this message like when we started, like back in 2014 or 13 or something like that. Like, just trust yourself, and like you're gonna develop in the journey between through the journey. So just don't mind it, and don't be so hard on yourself, because you're gonna get there if you really want that.
Yeah, and enjoy it too, rather than putting yourselves under so much pressure, because these kids are, they really are at the moment. So we need to address the elephant in the room, or my DMs are going to get absolutely filled up, because they're going to be mad at me for not asking you this. I already know the answer, and you're probably going to end up sick of this question. But can you just give us a quick story behind the name of the band, and save my DMs?
Yeah. Well, also, this one is a kind of funny story. When we started, we had a gig. Like, one of our friends left to do. He had a farewell party in Porvoo, which is our hometown in Finland. So he had a empty apartment and block of flats. So he said to us that, "Do you guys want to play there, like your first gig?" And we were just like starting the band back in then. And then we went there. We played the first night with we had only 5 songs, and then we played cover songs of Disco Ensemble and something like that. And the next day, he called me and said that, "Do you guys want to do it again tonight?" And we were like, "Well, yeah, we can do that again." And then we started to discuss with the band, like, okay, tonight is gonna be the second gig, so maybe we should have a name. And then that was like that funny joke that we're playing in a block of flats, and then our bass player that time also opened the Google Translator and put there a block of flats in Finnish, which is kerrostalo, and the answer was block of flats. And then we decided that, okay, let's be block of flats tonight, and let's try to figure out something else later on. We never did.
Never did. I'm glad you didn't, actually. I think it works. It's unique. It's fun.
Yeah.
And look, the band is rising. I did mention that earlier, and there is a real buzz around you guys, and you're going to be touring with the Rasmus legends.
Yeah.
And actually, we're hoping, because you're coming to the UK and we're in Ireland here, so I think it might be the Glasgow one if we're going to make it over, because I hate planes. Yep. So if I can get the boat, I'll take the boat, and we'll hopefully be there cheering you in the crowd. But what can people expect from a Block of Flats live show?
I think we haven't started the rehearsal for the tour yet, but I think it's gonna be a pure Finnish way to play some heavy metal shit. Kind of. Like we don't. Yeah. and we just want to show to Europe that this is Flock of Flats. This is what you get when you come to see us. It's simple as that.
Awesome. It's going to be exciting. And look, see when you're performing, and again, I'm always looking for advice for new bands starting out, things like that. But when you're performing, do you get nervous still? And also, do you guys have pre-show rituals that you would do? I love hearing stories. I ask bands this all the time because some of them have some real funny pre-show rituals. But do you guys have that yet? Before you get on stage, is there something you have to do before you get on?
Actually, I think everyone has their own kind of pre-show things to do. I'm trying to like open my voice, and then actually I don't know what the hell the other guys are doing, but just before, like we're pressing up together, and sometimes we like try. Actually, sometimes we try to open up our voices together, but it lasts like a couple of shows, and then. Sometimes we do it and sometimes we don't, but like everyone just like are doing their own stuff, but right before we're going to the stage we're like together there, like only 4 of us, and then someone is gonna speak something, or like it's Aussie, like maybe every time he's like a shouting something like let's play our like best gig ever tonight, and kind of like that. We're just hyping each other, and like just before we go to the stage, I'm screaming. Oh well, I have to think what Tom Brady always says, and then we put our hands together, and then everybody shouts, "Let's fucking go!" And then we're gonna go to the stage. Yeah, because I'm a Tom Brady fan, so
Like, fans love to know that too. They love to know what you're doing just before you come on stage to see them. So it's really cool to hear that. The other thing, speaking of touring, it is an expensive game. And nowadays it's gotten worse. And what I'd love from you as well is just from your experience over the years for new bands starting out, have you got cost saving tips for them, as well as now the reality of touring as well, because a lot of kids think they have a romantic idea of it, but there's a lot of waiting around, there's a lot of boredom. So have you got tips for saving on cost and tips on saving on boredom for these kids?
No, because it's a so expensive hobby, kind of. But you have to think about it like investment for the future, because it's sad to say that you really have to put lot of money to get somewhere, and maybe someday it's gonna pay back. That's how always been our mindset to doing that. I know it's fucking lame when you have to like put some money to or like a company's account and everything, but that's how the business works. That's music business.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
absolutely. And when it comes to performing, do you have a song that you like to perform the most? Is there one that stands out?
I would say maybe Feels Like.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's high energy song. Love it. As well as, see, when you are performing, like over the years, have you ever had audience reactions to songs that has maybe surprised you in a good or bad way?
I don't know, maybe like the first time when we have played lots of gigs when there's like 5 people, and when we like started to gain some fans, and like the first time when you went to the stage and you saw the audience singing the songs that you have wrote, it was like that was like the first time, like it was so weird. But yeah, maybe that one is like the reaction. But to be honest, if I think about like the reactions about the song, it's not comes to my mind, because like when I'm on stage, I'm always like in some kind of zone. So I'm trying to focus on people, but it's so hard because I just want to focus on everyone. So that's not how it goes.
Yeah. Do you actually, when you are performing, do you prefer the smaller crowds or the larger crowds? Because I can see pluses and minuses to both, but then I'm the type I don't want to get on stage. But like the smaller crowds, you can probably see people easier, but the bigger crowds, there's like way more people there. So is there a preference?
No, it doesn't matter to me, to be honest. Like,
you just love it.
It's sorry.
You just love it no matter what.
Sorry, I didn't get. Yeah, basically.
Best way. Okay, we're going to play another song. And this time we're going to play Lake of Fears.
Yeah.
I'm stuck in here with my sins and I'm drowning in.
Right, so that was actually the second song that I listened to. When I find a band that stops me and I love their first song, and then I'm like, please let the next song be good. And it was. Yay. And I absolutely, like, it's another great song, and I actually really love the video to that one as well. So first of all, just with the song, if you can let us know just the wee inspo behind its creation, and then if you can just let us know a bit more about video making just in general for kids, if you know any money saving tips for them that you've learned over the years.
Yeah. Well, basically, Lake of Fears. I was watching. I was in home. I was watching Bad Omens live gig from somewhere from Germany, and there was. I can't remember the song, but there was like a kind of like what we say in Finland, like a maybe in somewhere else, like Linkin Park, like melody, which is like
yeah.
So yeah, that was like the inspiration, and then I started to like do the song, and it sounded like it was a familiar song. That the melody was the familiar. Then I had to call my friend, and I played the chorus with the acoustic guitar to him, and I asked that, what is this song? What is this melody? And he said that it's a Linkin Park song. I don't remember what was it. Crawling. Yeah. So then I was like, oh shit, it sounds like same. But then I had to change the melodies, and after when I had to change the melodies and all of that shit, then I went straight to our studio, and I did the song basically in a one day, like the whole song, and then I sent it to the guys, and I remember yeah. So that was like the story about the creation of the song. It came out pretty easy. It took like maybe 5 to 10 minutes to write it, but sometimes it happened. It hasn't happened after that.
But then, like I always think that's amazing. Just I still think songwriters in general are wizards. That just creating magic. But then, like I mentioned earlier there about the video as well, it's an incredible video. It's visually insane, and I know that kids watching. It was a weird. I got some comments and a bit of fighting going on in the social medias. People saying that music videos are just not necessary anymore, and I fully disagree. I think they are necessary. But I'm just interested from your perspective. How do these kids create like a good video but can save money? Is there anything you've learned over the years that could help with that?
Like, we did our first videos like back in the days, like with our friend. But we didn't do those for free. But let me say it like this: it was like so much cheaper than like the videos today. So what I say is that if some of your friend got like inspiration for shooting stuff and making videos, you should just like try to do it with them, with the friends, and maybe that is the key to save some money. Yeah,
definitely. Kids, listen. All right.
Use your friends.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to ask people either, because some people are afraid.
Because you can always ask. Like anything, it doesn't. If someone says no, then it's no, and someone says yes, then it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, exactly. Moving on then with the lyrics, I love the lyrics are like, I find them intelligently deep, and I've always liked that in any kind of lyrics. But what always gets me curious is people who can speak more than one language. I cannot. And it fascinates me, and I've spoke to many Finnish songwriters as well who would say the same thing. You know, does the lyrics come to you in English or in Finnish? And then I also know that with the Finnish language, it is more restrictive with certain words, like the word love. For example, in English, we use it so loosely, whereas in Finnish, you don't. So do you find writing maybe in English easier for the more emotionally charged lyrics?
Yeah, maybe it's so different thing to do, to write the lyrics in English or in Finnish. Like, it's whole different game. And I have never learned to write like songs in Finnish, because I have always listened to like English stuff, and since the beginning I have always like I realized like back in the days that this is my thing. I don't care about the Finnish music. I won't say that it sucks, but it's not just my thing to do it. But
yeah, cool. The other thing is like with vocals, and I love a good vocal, and I love vocals who, you know, they can change up and down with falsetto and things like that. It tickles my dopamine hits everywhere. I love it. But what I'm curious is, like, and you did mention it earlier as well about developing your vocal to the screamies as well. And for new kids who are starting out, they're hearing you singing and they're going, "Oh, I'd love to be able to sing like that." Is there tips for them to be able to test and develop their vocal without damaging or straining? Have you learned anything, you know, since you've been developing your own to help not hurt or damage, but also to be able to test those boundaries?
Yeah, but I would say like the first three things that comes to my mind is practice, practice, practice. But then maybe, okay, it's not a good thing to hurt your vocal cords, but maybe that's also the key to success, because you have to know how it feels when it hurts, because then you know you're doing it wrong. So you kind of have to. I had to find the way I can scream. Like first it hurt, I lost my voice and everything, but then I knew that, okay, now it's like this is the wrong technique for this. Then I have to find the way where it doesn't hurt and I just lost my voice. So you just have to practice and try different things, and also find a good like vocal coach. I know it's also expensive, but if you like, you can do your best on your own, and then if you want to still develop yourself, then you should go to have a good vocal coach.
Yeah, professionals will always help. Can be worth it. Yeah,
true.
Yeah, and then like you see, for recording as opposed to performing live, is there different techniques? Because you guys are quite an energetic band, so I would say stamina, breathing, things like that are important for the vocal prep. As opposed to recording, because I know with recording, there's a lot of bands and singers who like to just, they go for it when they're recording to get that emotion out, but there's like repetitive takes as well. So is there like different things that you would do for each one that you can advise the kids when they're recording and when they're performing to help them as well?
I think for me, like when I know I have to go to the studio, I start like opening my voice like 2 days before, or maybe 3 days before the studio, because I want my voice to be in a good shape, and like it's not gonna crack, or I'm not gonna lose my voice, because that sucks when you're in the studio and you said to the producer that I think I'm gonna lose my voice.
Oh, no.
So, but sometimes it happens, no matter how much you have prepared for it. But like, yeah, actually, I have like a same kind of like a kind of ritual for the studio or the live gig. I just try to like use my voice like way like so much before the show. Like we have a show tomorrow, and then it was like a Thursday when our like agent called us like, "You guys want to play on Sunday?" We were like, "Oh my god, we have to book more rehearsals." And I was like, "Oh my god, I have to prepare my voice." But it's just how the game goes, and then I realized on Thursday that now I have to sing like every day, like the whole set, because that works for me. That's how I can like to take my voice to that level that I can really perform the show and give audience what they have been like they what they want, and I'm not gonna lose my voice on the stage, and because that's horrible. But yeah, to me it's like even that stamina like on.
Yeah, that's actually really good value, and that's only something that can come with experience. So yay, thank you. And kids, listen. Right, we're going to play another song, and it is actually like I fight with myself as to try to pick a favorite one, but I think this might be my favorite one, and it's Dead Inside. Love it. Right, so we're going to play that now, guys. Here it is, Dead Inside. Okay, and like the production on that song as well is incredible, and I love the way you sing in it as well. And one of the things that I'm curious about, we kind of touched on it a wee bit earlier, about imposter syndrome, really, for songwriters. I've talked to a few other songwriters about this too. And again, this is for, value for the younger ones listening. Is there a point when you're writing a song that you're like, is there a perfectionism side to it where it's, you're constantly wanting to change things or fix things? Or do you have somebody that you can maybe hand it to and they'll be like, dude, it's ready, let's do this? Is there any tips you can offer within that part there for helping kids overcome the imposter syndrome side of songwriting and knowing and being confident in yourself to know, no, this is a good song, we're good to go?
Yeah. I would say like, if we're thinking about like the fixing the things for the very last moment, I'm the one in our band. I'm the one who is like when like our song comes from the mix, and like a first version comes, then everyone else is like, yeah, let's change that, and then the second one comes, and basically everyone is like, yeah, it's good to go, and I'm like, no, we really need to change this. I want the chorus to be bigger, and I want well, it doesn't matter what I want, but usually it takes like 7 different versions till I'm happy. But guys, they get it because I think they believe that I got a vision for the song, like because usually I have written that one, maybe like 90% of the time, but yeah. But now I really have to think what was the question, because
just about how kids...
but the imposter syndrome. I don't know, just this is gonna be like a so stupid answer, but just trust yourself and like fix it till you feel like when you hear the song, like after 10 years, you don't think about, oh, that snare is so bad. Like do it that you don't regret anything that's on the song, I would say. And trust yourself, because if you're the artist, you know what is the thing. Also the producer helps, but yeah.
Producer helps for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's important to know that you're on the right path and to trust in your own like creation as well. And like I see it all the time with even my son, he's starting now in a band, and he's very creative, and and I'm just like, dude, just go for it, trust that self in you and just go for it. But like we're going to go back to talking about recording studios as well, because you guys have great sound as well. I know you're further on than these kids starting out, but there's funny superstitions in recording studios. I don't know if you guys have that happening yet with you, but there was one I spoke to, I can't remember who he was, but he was a drummer, and he said that anytime he's going into the studio, he has to have a certain stool. He brings the stool, it must be used. If the stool is not there, if he can't find it, he will not record. There was another one, and he was like, he has to not brush his hair or he won't record. Okay. And then the late great Ozzy Osbourne himself said that he has to sacrifice a firstborn. But do you guys have any superstitions yet for going into the studio, or is that to come?
I think it's to come, but if I can speak to myself, I have always been thinking that if you go to when I go to like sing the song for the studio, we've got like a day for the vocals, then I just try to like dress up like as good as I can, so I can feel like I got a good feeling to go there. Like I look good, and I got like my favorite shirt, and I usually use cap because I don't want my hair to be untied. I don't know why. So basically, the question is, I think I have some just cap and hair. So
that's good. Yeah. You're getting into character to be able to deliver what you need to deliver. That's cool. And is there anything in the studio, reality check wise, for kids who may not know this yet, that is not the funnest thing in the world to have to do, but it has to be done?
Maybe the waiting.
Waiting. I don't know how you guys do it. I get bored way too easily.
No, but also like when we started to like go to the studio, we were like, back in then we were all together, like always. But nowadays, like if some artist has to play some bass, he will go to the studio. No one else goes there. But like, I don't know what is the drum editing. That is like so boring. But if you want to put your drums on crates, so you have to do it. But otherwise, the producer will do it. It'll take time.
Yeah. Have you got like a song that you have had that was particularly more difficult to record, as opposed to any of the others? Was there anything that was hard to do?
Maybe I Got Your Back If You Got Mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a tricky one. We changed the whole key for the song many times, and then it was difficult, but I think it came out pretty well after all. But sometimes you have to struggle to find the perfect like shape for the song.
Yeah. And I'm loving all this reality check too, because the kids need to hear this as well. It's not all romance. There's work. Yeah.
And I believe that because before we go to studio, we will do the demos that they're gonna sound like everything is planned, and that's the way we want to do the guitars and drums and everything. So when we go to the studio, we don't waste any time thinking. Of course, it's a creative process, and of course there's some parts come into the song in the studio, but you need to prepare the song pretty good, and that's in that process it takes sometimes it doesn't take the only one version like a Fierce, and sometimes it takes 6 different versions. If we listen to Dead Inside, so that was the first version of Dead Inside was so much different that it came out. It was like another song. The chorus was different. Only thing that we took it from the first was the melody of verse, and we write the whole thing again.
I love it. I love hearing things like that, and you're so full of value. This is awesome. I'm moving on here now because I have a thing for cover songs. I love to hear a good cover song, and actually I stumbled upon one by Blind Channel, and they did the Anastasia one, and absolutely nailed it. I love a cover song when they stay true to the original, but also make their own, and they did that. And you actually did one as well by Blind Channel, which was Sharks of Blood, and you guys nailed it as well. But I'm curious as well, is there a song out there right now that you would absolutely love to do a cover of one day?
I was just thinking about it with the guys. Like, we were talking about some song that someone mentioned that this should be a good cover song, but I can't remember it. Like, it was like maybe 2 weeks ago when we talked about it.
Well, maybe I'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Well, look, I always like to do a random question, and this one is: if you could go back in time to any decade to perform with Block of Flats, what decade would you choose?
I would say, if we think about like our music genre and how it sounds, and then I think maybe the early 20s might be good.
That's my time.
I mean like the millennium, not 20s.
Yeah, not the 1920s. You mean the 2000s?
Yeah. But if I can choose to go like without the music, I would definitely go to the 70s.
70s.
Because I'm a huge fan of Kiss and Deep Purple and everything. So
awesome.
That would be awesome to like see those guys like in their prime.
That decade was a vibe as well. It really was. Yeah. I the other thing, I know you guys are from like a smaller town. Is it Porvo? Am I?
Yeah, Porvo. Yeah.
And like, see here, especially in Ireland, everywhere's a small town. But what I'd love to know is, do you think it's worth, when you're in a small town, you're not in where, the bigger, like Helsinki, where the big scene is, is it worth starting small and doing the smaller shows in your town, or do you think it's worth just going straight to the bigger city where the scene is?
I would say start like where, like in your hometown, play a couple of gigs, and if you really like it, just go straight forward to the big city and start like playing songs, playing shows there. And I would say that just go there where the business is, where the people are, where the audience is, because I think that is like a good thing to do. Like, when we started the Block of Flats, I was already living in Helsinki.
All right.
And Jesse was also living in Helsinki. Ossi was living in Porvoo, but we're all from Porvoo and we know each other from there. So, but we think that we don't think we are band from Porvoo. Like, it's our DNA. We had like a rehearsal space there like many years before we changed it to Helsinki. Because it's also, I think it's more interesting to say that you're from like a smaller town than from big city.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, did you guys take it you deliberately moved to Helsinki knowing this is the scene, this is where we need to be, just from the drive perspective of being in a band? You do still need to go to the main hub, really, don't you?
That's true. Like, I moved to Helsinki like because I went to the school when I was 16. So I had a thing going on back in when I was 15, that I don't want to live in the small town anymore. I want to move to Helsinki, which is the biggest city in Finland. So for me, it was like I really need to go to the school in Helsinki to get away from, to get off from Porvoo, to go to the Helsinki, and that's how I can meet the people in the music industry. And but that's like it's a kind of, that's a similar story for everyone in Finland. I believe that you live somewhere else and you want to go to Helsinki. How can you get there? Well, you have to go to the school, and that's how you can move there.
Smart. But it's the age-old thing, you do need to go to where the scene is at, and it's a reality check too for kids. Like, certainly start with your experience in smaller towns and smaller gigs, but certainly have that ambition to get to where it needs to be. Perfect. So we're going to actually play another song, and this time we're going to go with Feels Like.
Be the same. This is the last time to get away. This is the last time to run away. I will not wait on fate to stand.
Okay, that was Feels Like, and I absolutely love that one. I love the energy of that song. And I'm curious with this one, like, what did you love most about creating it? And then also, I loved the video to that one too. Was there any fun times shooting it, or, you know, was it all just plain sailing for you?
Of course, when I'm alone, it was super cold. It was like, I don't know. I just remember that I was like, I was thinking about that. Oh, how long this is gonna take, because I'm gonna freeze right here, because like I have the shirtless shirt and everything. So yeah. That was a kind of funny story from the video. But yeah, it was like one day of shooting, and that's about it.
One day, that's cool.
Yeah, just one day. Yeah,
that's mad.
We did it like the band playing like scenes in the morning, and then we wait till the night and shoot the last parts.
Professionals getting it done quick. Do you have any random albums in your collection that might surprise fans? The last band I spoke to, they're like proper metal, screamy band, and they had Michael Bublé. So I'm keen to hear if you have anything random in your collection that would surprise fans.
I'm trying to think, like like I said, I love Deep Purple and Kiss, but that might,
they're so cool.
But maybe that's not so like interesting. But what can I say? Really love like really good pop music, but I don't have like any records. I'm right now I'm thinking about like my album collection, like LP collection. I have a lot of Electric Light Orchestra. Like maybe 3 albums. Then I have Dire Straits. Then I have lots of David Bowie.
Oh boy, legend.
Yeah, but I think like maybe those, but it's not so like a big thing, because like if you like David Bowie as for example, it's so I can't even like say anything about him. That's the music that he did is so incredible, and so it's not like a guilty pleasure. It's just like a awesome artist with awesome records. But yeah, I don't have like anything like maybe the Dire Straits might be the strange one. Yeah,
it's just, but the reason I ask these kind of things to bands as well is just because of gatekeeping and elitists in the music. There's always somebody, because even when I was younger, like I was obviously into a lot of heavy stuff. But I remember when new metal started. I remember when it was all coming out, and I was loving Linkin Park. I was loving Slipknot. I was loving all these bands, but the elitists were going, you know, and having a problem because I also liked Slayer. You know, how dare I like new metal? But then as the time goes on, 20 years later, and these same people who were, you know, basically slagging me off for liking the new metal scene now say that they liked it, you know. So it's just I always want to be aware to kids as well that, you know, like what you want to like. If you emotionally connect with a song, love it, and don't be afraid what anybody else says.
Yeah, that's so true.
It just needs to be out there more, you know. But moving on as well, I want to talk about social media, because again, it's working for you guys. It's how I find you. Do you have a preference with TikTok or Instagram, first of all? And second of all, do you have any tips for kids starting out to be able to utilize social media at the start? Because like I said, what you're doing is working.
Yeah. I would say like you really have to recognize that, okay, they are both like a social media channels, but like the content that you're creating for them, it needs to be different. Like Instagram works differently than TikTok. So but like I have always thinking about that in Instagram, you have to look like professional and like trying to show like the meaning of your band and show the like how do you guys look and what is the brand kind of. But in TikTok you can do whatever you want basically right now, because it's still so young social media platform, because
it's more fun.
you can and you can try different things and just post. You never know what's gonna like explode.
Yeah,
basically.
Exactly. Yeah, that's great advice. So the journey so far for Block the Flats has been, you've put in the work and it's starting to pay off now. What so far are you most proud of with the band?
I would say maybe the first like big festival gig that we did in Hyvinkää, Finland, like 2002 or 2022 or 2023 maybe. But that was like the first big one. And maybe, I would say that one, because like then we kind of, that was like a some point of the journey when we realized that maybe this thing is working. Like this is the first step to go forward and reach higher. Like kind of now we got the first big festival. So now we can just keep pushing more and gonna play lots of new festivals in Finland, and then we did. So that was like a turning point kind of.
Yeah, and that helps to fuel the fire too as well. Yeah. So we're coming to the end of this, and what I'd like is if you have anything further that you would first of all like to add for these kids starting out that you think might be important. Have we missed anything? Is there anything else you'd like to add for that part?
No, just if you love making music, just make it. Like it's hard business, but you need to be like how can I say this? I was watching like a Lords of Darktown movie with like I don't know if you know that one, but it's about like how the skateboarding was created, like back in the days in California. Yeah, Heath Ledger is in that and so on.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think I do.
Yeah, there's a part when like all those like guys are like skating, and then some of them leaves because he has to go to work. I'm not trying to say that don't do work. I'm trying to say that because there's a part when Heath Ledger says that he says that line is he's not a pirate, which has like stuck into my mind, that you have to kind of be like kind of pirate to be in this industry and push yourself forward and push yourself to the audience, and because it's so hard. Like I always thought that it was well, this is a good thing. I went to the university only because everyone said to me, like, you don't know any that, like only thing that you can do is music. If you tried, you would never go to the university. I was like, I thought to myself that what the fuck, I will show it's gonna be a lot of easier than make this music and try to reach to the highest level. And then I went to the university and it was like a joke, because I was so mad about when people think about making music is so easy, because it's super hard. You just have to trust yourself, and there's like in a year there's 365 days, so it's basically 360 days you're like in the worst case you're hitting your head against the wall, and the 5 days are pretty good. Yeah, and that is what our like record label owner said to us before we signed the deal.
Oh.
Yeah, but it was not like, it was like it was a joke, but I think it's kind of, because it is. You just have to push yourself and your music and everything to become what you really want to become.
Yeah, just never give up either.
Yeah, that's a good mentality for that.
Yeah. Okay, well, look, what is next for you guys? I know there's the tour, which I'm excited about, and a new album.
Yeah, actually, I don't know when it's gonna come out, but we have we were just talking about it, that we have lots of songs. We've been writing like maniacs, the songs, but like the half of the album is already like recorded.
Yeah.
We're deciding which of the songs are gonna end up in the second half of recordings. But I think we already managed to choose 2 songs, and they're all like ballads, because in the first album that was like a straightforward rock, so there wasn't no time to catch some breath. But in this album we decided that we need to have a couple of slower songs. But 2 of those have been picked, and we're still thinking about the last 3. If we decide to do a 10 song album, but it might be 10, it might be 11, 12, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's coming anyway.
Well, exciting stuff, and I love a good ballad, so I will be excited to hear them.
Yeah, but those are like our kind ballads with ballads.
Yes.
So
ballads with balls. That's what I like.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, we're going to play out with the song "Bleed." Again, it's another incredible song. My take is it's about betrayal, but also about how to overcome that. If I'm right, if I'm taking that the right way, because we've all been there. It's a brilliant song. And what I'd love to ask you as well, just as our final question, what do you hope that the band and the songs give to fans listening now, and also in 10, 20 years from now? What would you hope people would still be gaining from the band?
For me, the best thing that fans said to me are when they're in a bad situation in their life, and then they're saying that your songs helped me to get through awful times and everything. So maybe I would say if the music helps, I think it's a good thing. So that's the first one. And if the music also brings happiness and somehow I would say that I hope that our songs bring some sort of energy to your life, like in positive way, that you feel like you want to do stuff when you're listening to our music, and also the helping thing. I think those are two main themes that I'm thinking about right now, because it's also so good to hear that when someone says that. It's been a life-saving song for me.
Mm-hmm. It's funny you say that, because it actually does remind me of how when Linkin Park came out, I was way into them, and their songs are so deep and meaningful, but also you feel empowered almost with them, and a little less alone when you're connecting with them. And I feel like Block Flash is the exact same thing. It really does, and that's why I got so excited when I started listening to you guys. So yay, and more to come. I'm excited. But listen, thanks so much, honestly, for hanging out with me.
Yeah, of course.
It's a real pleasure talking with you. And
nice.
Play out here now with Bleed. Here it is, guys. This is Bleed.
I want you to watch me.